welcome to the second episode of the Ozzie Gamecast. I'm Janos, that's Ava.
Hey, go.
We're here to talk a little bit about the upcoming E3 that's starting about a day or so. And yeah, what we're looking forward to and whatnot. So we'll start off with Ava, what have you been playing?
Well, just before I played a game of Left 4 Dead 2, and I gotta say, it's been forever since I played it, but really enjoyed everything I just did. Like, it kind of, I don't know, feels like it rekindled an old flame.
Yeah, it's been a while since we sort of played a bit of that. Like, what else you been sort of getting into this week? I know you mentioned the other day you were going to start playing Uncharted 3. Did you end up starting that?
No, I didn't. I've still, because I just recently brought the Humble Indie Bundle number 8, as you well know, and I've been kind of been plomping through every single game in there, because they're all short, nice little games that, you know, they don't take long. Tiny and Big was pretty good. What was the other one I played? Little Inferno was pretty, like, I got a lot more out of that than I expected, but I started playing Thomas Was Alone.
Yeah.
And I was totally blown away by how much I care about the characters, even though they are just literally squares. Yeah,
that's a really, really charming one, I think. You empathize with cubes.
Yeah, because I was sitting there, and as I was, like, feeling sorrowful for some of the characters, I kind of had this self-reflecting moment where I was like, wow, I really care about these coloured squares and oblongs and what have you that are just kind of jumping around this cyberspace.
Yeah, you got a favourite?
I'm pretty fond of James, but the one I think I liked the personality of the most, just because it was so far removed, was the one with the double jump. I've forgotten her name.
Yeah, I know which one you mean.
But yeah, how she's all like some kind of medieval master woman.
Yeah, I like I forgot her name, but the superhero that can float on water.
I like her intro was good too, because it's like, oh, maybe they're just going to have a kind of scene where they just execute a character. Nope, she floats on the hot water or whatever that stuff is.
So that's pretty much what you've been playing this week. Like, over this last week, I've played a couple things. I finished the shit out of Hotline Miami. Loved it. Loved every bit of it. There's not really much to say about that other than you should play it. Everyone should play that.
Yeah, it's just amazing. Really, it's amazing.
And I've been getting into Paper Mario Sticker Star. It came out last year, and I'd been putting it off for like bloody ages. But yeah, I've started playing it recently. Love it. I'm really, really getting into it. So that's about, I think I'm 15 hours in. So.
Oh, okay, that's pretty good. Everything I've kind of started on the 3DS of late, I just get kind of meh with it. Like the most recent one in memory being Tales of the Abyss, which you told me it's a port from PS2.
Yeah, it was Tales of the Abyss was a PS2 RPG.
But I started getting into it, and I was like, oh yeah, it's alright, I'll see if it develops a little longer, and I played it for about maybe 20 hours, and I just couldn't get past the main character being kind of a dickbag, and I just slowly put it down.
Fair enough. Not every RPG has to rope you in.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's mostly what I've been playing. I've been getting into MechWarrior Online a little bit too, partly because I'm really excited for the Pacific Rim movie that's coming out soon. So I just wanted some big stompy ass robots.
That's going to be a great film. But what about games that we've kind of been putting down lately though? Like, I'd have to say the biggest one is definitely Ragnarok, because we came back to that with a vengeance because we started playing it before. What was that? Was it Winterfall?
Winterfall.
That the MMO? Neverwinter, that's it. Because I was going to start playing that because I liked the idea of an MMO that had a really strong combat focus, and then I couldn't play it because I'd have to buy into the beta, and I was like, you know what? Let's give Arrow a shot. And we started playing that super hardcore, and we got like a couple of third-class characters each.
Yeah, I ended up making a Rune Knight, and I got really close to making, I think, a Royal Guard.
Yeah. Like, I'm sure we'll go back and maybe you'll finish your Royal Guard, but I think we're mostly done with that because, I mean, I miss PvP a lot and there's no level specifics, and it's just, I don't know.
Yeah. Alright, this week's topic is a pretty major one. We got E3 starting tomorrow. So we're basically just going to have a big old pre-E3 podcast and talk about what we're excited for, what our predictions are, who do we think's going to win, etc, etc. So, first one, what are you most excited for E3 this week?
As in stuff that might be that I'm quite positive will be happening. Well,
anything.
Already know. Well, I guess Nintendo. I want to see what Nintendo's got in store, because their console's already out, so I mean, it's just going to be games, because that's the one thing that console sadly does not have.
Yeah, that's the biggest problem with the Wii U. I think, yeah, I'm looking forward to it, because they said they're showing Zelda, they're showing Smash Brothers in some capacity, Mario Kart. Not sure if they mentioned whether or not they're showing the core 3D Mario game. I think they are.
Okay. Just real quick, do you feel like Mario's kind of like Nintendo's dead horse? Because that's how it feels for me.
Yes and no. What they did last year with the 2D New Super Mario Bros. Games, I feel that's what they sort of hit too much and too hard, because they're easy to make. They're obviously making those games as gap fillers so that they can make their big major games.
Also, like the new Mario Bros. U and any other of those games, like New Super Mario Bros. 2.
Yeah, exactly.
Which was fun for a little while, and then I was like, yeah, I'm collecting coins, I'm not going to get 1 million.
Yeah, it's more 2D Mario. It's like, there's nothing wrong with it, but we've played it before. Played it lots of times before.
Played it
Whereas
for
every
life.
3D Mario game, every new one of those that comes along is a big sort of game changer for that like core set of games.
Okay. Because I haven't had a long track record with the 3D ones. I think the last one I played extensively was, I hate to admit it, but probably still just Mario 64.
Yeah, and that's the thing.
Because I know that... sorry to interrupt you, but I know that, the GameCube one was meant to be phenomenal.
Yeah, because when that first came out, the Mario Sunshine, a lot of people didn't look too favourably on it. It was like, yo, Mario with a squirt gun, he's an actual plumber now, lol. But it's one of those ones it's aged really, really well. If you go back to it and play it, it plays perfectly. Because most games you go back to from that era, from the GameCube era, a lot of them really don't play how you remember them. Yeah. That really does.
Okay.
And it's perfectly smooth and fluid. The only major problem with it was the camera could spaz out on some of the levels. Well, not really spaz out, but it was just hard to control it properly. But after that, the next jump was Mario Galaxy, which was just great, and then Galaxy 2, which was everything that game was, ramped up. Everything bigger and better than before. Okay.
Because, yeah, I know I borrowed Galaxy off you, and I kind of knew I was never going to play it, and I never did. I don't regret it, but I don't know. It's because I've just been so out of touch with Mario games for a long time, I probably owe it to myself to at least get whatever the next one is and really give it a shot.
Yeah, and I feel that's probably where your feeling on Mario came from, because you've only been playing the 2D ones, correct? You played New Super Mario Bros. Wii, New Super Mario Bros. 2 on the 3DS, and then the Wii U one.
Yeah, more or less.
Which are more or less all basically the same game. They all pretty much play the same.
Yeah.
Whereas the 3D ones, that's much bigger budgets and such.
To a lesser extent, I played the DS Yoshi's Island, which I really enjoyed. Although you can't really count that as a Mario game, because it's just a different formula.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, you don't really count that as a mainstream Mario game. But on that note, they are bringing out 2 new Yoshi games. There's one for the Wii U that I think is along the Kirby's Epic Yarn sort of deal. It's all material and string and stuff. Then there's a 3DS one they're bringing out, which is a sequel to the original Yoshi's Island.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I can totally get on board with all of that. Everything that's about.
I'm expecting them to show that a bit at E3. Now, what about games we haven't seen announced before? If Nintendo's just going to show up to E3 and just basically show us all the shit they showed us before, have told us about, nobody's going to be impressed by what they do.
What I do want to see from Nintendo, if they really want to get a rise out of people, is maybe some Bayonetta 2.
Yeah, but even that, everybody knows about it.
Yeah.
And same with Wonderful 101. That game looks great, but everybody knows it's coming. What we don't know is, for one thing, what's Retro Studios working on.
That's right, that's the big secret.
Yeah.
That's the one that I'm really excited for. Even if it's just another Metroid game, I at least know that it's going to be, amazing.
Yeah, like, for anyone who doesn't know, Retro Studios is basically every game they've ever touched has turned to gold. They were responsible for the Metroid Prime games, and they were responsible for bringing back Donkey Kong Country, which both turned out great. They also had a hand in the 3DS Mario Kart game, but I don't think it was major.
Was that Mario Kart 7?
Yep. But yeah, they've been completely quiet for the last couple of years, and I am beyond curious what they're actually working on. If it's a new Metroid game, so be it. What I would like to see is a whole new franchise from them. If they were to come up with their own new franchise just for Nintendo's consoles. I mean, something like, let's say it's a fantasy game or a sci-fi game. That's what I want to see.
Yeah, I could... That would actually be kind of... Yep. Mm-hmm. Yes. I can get on board with them having their own franchise.
Yeah.
Because I know whatever it is, I'm gonna love it. Like, it's indiscriminate love for Retro Studios. They're just...
New topic.
Yeah, that's right, because we just ended on the other end.
Okay, so... that's basically the biggest thing that you and I are excited for as far as Nintendo goes.
Mm-hmm.
I, like every other E3 before, there's always that one big sleeper indie game in the back corner somewhere. A couple of years ago it was Scribblenauts. Like there's always just that one little thing. Whatever that is, that's what I'm most looking forward to. Something new, something I've never seen before.
Yeah.
In the wake of the big three, Nintendo's consoles are already out, not doing very well. They need to bring a big game. They need to show us something. They need to wow everybody.
Yeah.
Microsoft, they've shown their console, but they pissed a lot of people off. What they did bring though was a lot of promises. They were talking about 9 new exclusives. They were talking about Rareware bringing back a classic game. What would you like to see out of them? What do you think could turn your opinion around on Microsoft?
On Microsoft, it would take a lot, because just everything that they've put out as official on that console, I've been totally not pleased by. But all I could say is they would need all of their brand new IPs that they're making to be amazing, and
so just games. That's what we want to see, yeah.
Yeah, games. But I mean, I honestly don't think that's enough for me.
Yeah. Well, like for me, there's the classic game Rareware is apparently bringing back. If it happens to be Killer Instinct, we both know I'm in on that.
Yeah.
I think that's actually that could actually happen. Just the fact that fighting games are totally in at the moment, and what other series could Rareware actually be bringing back? It's definitely not going to be Banjo-Kazooie, because they've done that.
I don't think they'll want to do that anymore. Like, my prediction could only be Perfect Dark or what was the other one? I had Perfect Dark and...
Well, the other one I could think of would be Conker. Conker's Bad Fur Day.
Yeah, that's it, Conker. That was the one I was reaching for. Yeah, Perfect Dark and Conker, but there is...
I don't think Perfect Dark's that likely, because there's already been 2 Perfect Dark games on 360. There was the remake of the first one and Perfect Dark Zero.
Yeah. Was Zero a prequel?
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't really remember.
I never played it.
It wasn't that memorable.
Yeah, but you would very much like it to be Killer Instinct.
Yeah, I would love it to be Killer Instinct. I think it's possible, but not Not extremely likely. Just, yeah.
Yeah.
And then we've got Sony. They seem to be sitting in the most dominant position at the moment. We could both pretty much agree it's their show to lose, yeah?
Yeah, that's it.
What do they have to do, basically, to cement themselves as the star of the show this year?
Cement themselves. Gee, that's a tough one. Because it'd come down to a game announcement, I would have to say. Because, like, I don't really care about the console itself. Yeah, it's coming out and that's great, but, like, what I want to know is what games do I have to look forward to? Like,
yeah.
In any case, in any of the consoles, if you ask me the question, it's going to be games. But what's PlayStation got? Because it's definitely not going to be another PlayStation Battle Royale. That's just... I'd be shocked if they even made another one.
Would you like to see an Uncharted 4 for PlayStation 4?
Absolutely. Because I played Uncharted 1 and 2, loved both of them. I'm sure I'm going to love the third one, and if they'll make another one, love that too. That's a no-brainer. I would say more BlazBlue, but I mean, that's probably going to be on everything now.
Yeah, that's not a Sony thing.
Yeah, I know.
One thing I'd like to see from Sony, like, yeah, new games would be great. I'd love to see an Uncharted 4. I'd love to... and they have showed a few things. They've showed a new Killzone game. They showed that new interesting thing called Knack.
That's right, the little Gemmy Joe.
Yeah, little Toblerone robot.
Yes.
But to be honest, I think all they really need to do to basically not lose is just to reaffirm once again, we're not blocking used games, we're not having always on, drop the mic, walk off stage.
That's it.
And that's all it takes. And like, I really feel that they don't have to try this year.
They don't.
Because Microsoft, with all of their business decisions and the way their last press conference went out, pissed a lot of people off.
They shot themselves in the foot, pretty much.
Yeah, like, I'm sure the console will be fine, but there's all the news about the always on and all that other thing, and with having to have a Kinect, etc., etc., etc.
No.
They would have to full on bring an A game to recover that, I think.
Yeah.
Whereas Nintendo is in such a bad position that the console's already out, but they just have no games out yet.
Yeah, because how long has the Wii U been out for now?
It's been out since November, so it's about 7 months.
Jeez.
And that's a hell of a dry spell.
Yeah. And it feels like there's some stuff that should, like, if it had to come out, would have really made a difference. Like, Rayman Legends for me would have been a huge one. Like, I guess not for me, because I brought one because I love my Nintendo. But, like, having that taken away from them and Pikmin still not being out.
Yeah, like, I can understand them delaying Pikmin to polish it, but they have to have put something out. Like, when the Wii first came out, basically Miyamoto designed a game. He designed Wii Sports, and they said, okay, now we're going to need a console to run this thing. And that was it. They made the Wii for Wii Sports.
Yeah.
And they sold it, and that was its killer app, and that's all it needed. The Wii U didn't have anything like that. It came out with Nintendo Land that had a bunch of fun shit in it, but it was not a system seller, and it came out with New Super Mario Bros. U, which we had just played 6 months earlier on the 3DS.
Yeah.
And, like, they need some sort of killer app. Like, to be perfectly frank, I think there was two major things Nintendo could have done differently to avoid the massive stigmatism that's on the Wii at the moment, or the Wii U, more to the point. One could have been to release the system 2 years earlier, when the Wii name was still valuable and not everyone had given up on third-party support for them.
Yep.
Or two, release the system at a power parity to the current new consoles. Like, rather than... Because the Wii's basically on level with the PS3 and the 360.
Yeah, that needs to be juiced up.
If they had released something that was closer in power to what the Xbox One is going to be and what the PS4 is going to be, they would have been in a much, much better position to retain that third-party support. But as it stands, it is simply going to be a Nintendo games box. It's going to be a Zelda box, a Mario box, etc. And nothing else is going to be worth playing on there.
That's a shame, because, like, that's, like, it's for the main reason that's why I got it, but at the same time, it's like, I can't just go out and be like, I want to get... This game's going to be on everything, but I want to get it on the Wii U.
Yeah,
Actually, Razor's Edge was another big one.
Razor's Edge.
Ninja Gaiden.
Ninja Gaiden. That actually did come out everywhere. That was more of just an Australian thing.
Oh wait, because it had the R rating, didn't it?
Yeah, the Razor's Edge didn't come out when the Wii U came out because we had no R rating at the time.
Annoying.
And that turned on over New Year's.
Yeah.
And, yeah.
But it came out on PS3 before it came out on Wii U.
Yeah, actually, I think it did come out at the same time. It's just that eBay and that aren't stocking it. You'd have to buy it digitally if you want to get it.
Oh, okay. But to that end, it's like, well, if it's out on both at the same time, I may as well get it on the console it's going to run better on.
Yeah, exactly.
Which was the PS3.
Yeah.
But without a doubt, PlayStation, is going to be dominating the entire home console market. Like, Nintendo still has the handheld market completely under its thumb.
Yeah, the 3DS versus the Vita, that battle ended before the Vita even came out. That was inevitable.
Because I want to get a Vita, but I'm just at a point of why.
Yeah, like, there are good games for it, but there's just not enough yet.
Yeah,
and that's the problem everyone else has with the Wii U as well, which is ironic.
Yeah. But I guess to that end, maybe that's why they're taking their time. Like, I'm sure they're going to reach a point, like, it's going to hit critical mass and all these games are just going to flood the market, but until then they're kind of like, well, we can still coast on our handheld, so that's alright.
Yeah, well, what does the Wii U need to do to start shifting units?
Start shifting units? Bring out everything.
Yeah, bring out games, that's a big one. But what did the 3DS have to do? Yeah, they brought out games, but it was a $100 price drop.
That's right, yeah, the console got a lot cheaper. We brought it on release day again just because we're huge Nintendo fans, but it started just flying off shelves after it had its
Exactly.
stuff.
Now, like, the main worry is that, that'd make Nintendo look bad, but they looked bad when the 3DS when they first dropped the price on the 3DS. How do they look now?
Pretty amazing.
Yeah. So I think if they start bringing out some major first-party Nintendo games, bring out your Zelda, your Smash Brothers, etc., alongside a console price drop, and I think that will just shift units like nobody's business.
Absolutely.
I don't think it'll ever catch up to where the PS4 and the Xbox One are going to be, but to a point where they can at least continue to justify having games made for it.
How much was the 3DS when we brought it? It was like $500, wasn't it?
No, I don't think it was like that. I think it was closer to 380.
380 wasn't the Wii U about that price?
Yeah,
that sucks. But yeah,
and I think the Wii U, the 32 gig one, was $420, and it came with games and shit.
Yeah,
and controllers and stuff.
Well, the 420 came. Yeah, the 420 just came with Nintendo Land, didn't it?
Yeah, it came with Nintendo Land and the bigger hard drive and.
Yeah. That's the one we both call it, the Big Black Beast.
Yeah. What do we expect to see? Obviously, they're gonna show. This is just not from the big three, but also just in general. We're gonna see the new Call of Duty. We're gonna see the new Battlefield. All that shit. We're gonna see in more detail than we have before.
Mm-hmm.
What do you expect out of it? Other than the big shit we've already talked about.
The big shit we've already talked about. Stuff that I expect to see. Jeez, I expect to see Valve announce some kind of Half-Life news. Because feels like an eternity.
Yeah, they actually haven't even shown at E3 for the last couple of years.
Oh wow, really? Oh
yeah.
Well, they've just been releasing kind of meh.
So the last time I remember seeing them at E3 was when they were on stage at the Sony conference a couple of years ago, talking about the crossplay for
Portal 2.
Yeah, for Portal 2 to the PC.
Which actually worked very well, that we discovered.
Yeah, you and I played that just fine.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, I'm hoping that Valve is there and that they announce some kind of Half-Life news, because anytime I get onto it, I just can't stop thinking about it for like a week. I'm like, why are we still waiting for this?
Yeah, they've said before that Valve doesn't, like, they don't really have a schedule to what they make. They basically make what everybody in the office feels like making at the time.
Okay.
And that's just sort of how their business has flowed for the last, like 10 years.
Yeah, a very long time.
So we'll probably see a continuation of Half-Life 2 at some point. I don't expect we'll ever really see Episode 3 by itself like they said they were going to do like 5 years ago. They may release another box, say, like Orange Box, say they release the, I don't know, beige box, and it comes with Episode 3 and Half-Life 3, and then maybe, I don't know, new version of Counter-Strike Go or some shit.
Yeah. But hopefully, any news from Valve I'm very anxious about seeing, because I just want to hear about what they're working on. Just because they kind of just coast on Steam and that's it.
Yeah.
And it just feels like we're missing out on everything they have to offer because they're just like, just put in some new hats for Team Fortress 2 and...
Well, no, they never stopped making stuff. In the last 12 months to 2 years, like, they made Counter-Strike Go, they've been making Dota 2, and yeah, like you said, they have been continually supporting Team Fortress 2. It's like, they never stopped making stuff.
Yeah, I know, but they just don't... I don't know, it just doesn't feel like they make enough. Because, I mean, I know that not owning Counter-Strike Go is not a good enough excuse to say that, yeah, they don't make enough, but they made Left 4 Dead, and they made Left 4 Dead 2 a couple months later, and I don't know,
Then Portal 2.
Yeah, then Portal 2.
Portal 2 was their big single-player game for a while, I felt.
Yeah, that was actually quite enjoyable. Can't believe I actually forgot about it, even though we just talked about it 3 seconds ago. But yes, Portal 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, I need closure on Half-Life. I think that's why I'm just so frustrated by them, because that's what I want. I just want I want my closure on Half-Life.
All right. Some predictions for E3. This we can actually tally. We can score. So, like, say 5 predictions each. I believe, this is prediction number 1, Nintendo will show what Retro Studios has been working on, and it will not be Metroid, it will be a brand new IP. That's my first prediction.
That's your first prediction?
You go.
Alright. My first prediction is that I'm just going to have to... I'll go the goat on this one and say that Valve will be there and they will be announcing something about Half-Life.
Something about Half-Life?
Something about Half-Life.
Alright. My prediction 2. The new Smash Brothers, when they reveal it, they will show at least one Tales of Symphonia character and at least one Soul Calibur character in it.
I'll toss in for a Castlevania character.
Okay, so that's your prediction. Your prediction 2?
Yep.
Alright. When the new Nintendo main Mario game is announced, it'll be called Mario Universe.
Mario Universe. Getting fancy.
Yeah, and the U will be the Wii U logo U.
Alright, I'm gonna toss in that Microsoft will reveal when it's revealing its new IPs, hopefully if they do, that they will have an RPG.
Be an RPG?
Be an RPG.
You mean strictly RPG, or what if it's like sort of like an adventure game, like somewhere in the middle, like a Fable or whatever?
Yeah. So I'll take broad strokes. But yeah.
So some sort of fantasy sort of deal.
Some new fantasy IP.
Alright. This one, I don't expect it to happen, but I would very much like it to happen. When Smash Brothers is announced, it comes out this year, before Christmas.
Oh my god. Don't even joke. Oh my god. Gee.
Number 4.
Number 4. Because I'm trying to think of what Nintendo's going to be playing with. It'd be nice if Nintendo had a new IP. Yeah, that'll be my prediction. That Nintendo will have a new IP. They'll be bringing a new IP to us.
New IP?
Yeah.
Not Retro Studios, though.
Not Retro Studios, Nintendo.
Alright. Prediction number 5. Alright, this one... I don't expect it to come out, but Sony announces Uncharted 4 as a launch game for the PS4.
Oh, God. Yeah, that's a prediction and a half. Alright, prediction number 5. Alright, this is a freaking huge guesstimate, but I'm expecting Xbox to recant one of their things that everyone is in an uproar about, where it be always on, always needing your Connect, or the no trade-ins.
Okay, so...
Oh, not the no trade-ins, rather the getting rid of the, like, so you can just take a game to a mate's house and play it.
Okay, so you're expecting
one of their features to be revised because
one of the major features that everyone's pissy about to be revised.
Yes.
Okay. That actually may be hard to gauge, because on that note, Microsoft actually cancelled their post-show roundtable.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and to me that says that there are things they don't want to talk about yet. That might be one of them. So we'll see what happens on that one, eh?
Pissed off a lot of people, dude. What are we gonna do? I don't know. Let's fix our console. Yeah, all right.
Yeah. Because I don't think all the changes Microsoft have made for their console are things that definitely can't work. I just feel it was one generation too early. I don't think console gamers are ready to be all online or all digital.
No, they're not. Because for people who are strictly console gamers, like, that's a shock to the system.
Yeah, because for a strict console gamer, someone who doesn't play on PC, they're used to just grabbing a game, slamming it in their system, and just playing. It's like, oh, I'm coming over to a mate's place, I'm bringing Call of Duty, slam, play.
That's it. To have that taken away, how are they going to feel, man? I'm going to say naked. Naked is how they feel.
Yeah.
Violated.
How do you feel about Nintendo's decision to not do a major press conference like the other big consoles?
I'm totally okay with it. I mean, because there's not a great deal of a point to do so. Their console's out. Like,
yeah,
I reckon they're going to have them and anyone who attends what they're going to be doing are going to be having a lot more fun. Like, I think they're going to put a lot more thought into these little mini conferences they're having, and it's just going to be a grand old time. Yeah,
I don't think they've really specified what's going on outside of the fact that they're having a Nintendo Direct at the time that the conference would have been.
Oh, okay.
But like I'm actually got mixed feelings about it. Like, do you remember the E3 when they first announced the 3DS?
Can't say that I do. I wasn't a big E3 follower back then.
Okay, because Iwata walked out on stage and said, "I've got something to show you," and then pulled the 3DS out of his pocket and just held it up. And for like a solid 5 minutes, there was just roaring crowd, and you couldn't hear anything but cheers.
Thunderous applause for this magical device.
Yeah, and like all of that fanfare is part of the presentation in itself. So like it is a little disappointing to see that they're not going to have any of that, but on the flip side, all the same information's going to be there. So I guess if they less time focused on the fanfare and the presentation itself, more time for actual games. And like, if Nintendo wants to come out of this looking better, they're going to show a lot.
Yeah, like I think this is the Wii U and or just Nintendo's chance to recover for just kind of how the Wii U's been suffering. Like, this is their chance to be like, all right, here we go. We can fix a lot of not deliberately made damage.
Yeah, and like the other two companies, they're still going to have their big conferences. They still have their consoles aren't out, so obviously they're going to have a big thing about this is the PS4. By that note, Sony still has to show the box for their console, so there's that.
Oh, didn't they display the unit?
Yeah, they've never showed the unit. They showed the controller, but the unit's still like it's going to be a black box of some kind.
Yes, that's
There's nothing going to be out of the ordinary there. But
no huge surprises. But yeah, no, it'll be interesting to see just how it looks. Because I honestly don't care how it looks unless it's grotesquely hideous.
yeah, unless it looks like an upside down severed clown head, I'm not really going to mind.
I don't know. I think I'd be interested to have that in my lounge room.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's. I mean, I am vaguely interested to see how that looks.
Alright, in other news, unrelated to E3, they've announced the new voice actor to take up the mantle of Snake.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've showed it's going to be Kiefer Sutherland. You may know him from 24. He played, I believe it was the protagonist, Jack Bauer or Joe Bauer. Let me just look it up. Yeah, Jack Bauer.
There you go.
Although, in a voice role, if you've seen the phone booth, he actually did a fairly menacing bad guy voice on that. How do you feel about this whole thing that happened with David Hayter losing his job as Snake, and him just sort of nonchalantly just getting replaced?
Yeah, I don't like any of it at all ever. Like, I don't. I guess appreciate's not the right word, but like, as a fan, I feel angry and confused, and I don't like what's happening because they're keeping the original Japanese voice actor for Snake.
Yeah, the same guy that's always done it for the last 15 years over there, still doing it.
Yeah, it's like, but it's David Hayter. Like, he's a good guy. You know what he did for all his mates back in which game was it that he sacrificed his salary so that he could bring back all of the old voice cast to work with it?
Yeah, for the remake of Metal Gear Solid 1, Twin Snakes for the GameCube, he actually sacrificed his own pay to bring back all of the original cast.
That's just...
That's dedication, and like he said before that he's most famous for Snake, but that's only his sort of side job. He's passionate about that. He's an artist and director in his own right, and just how disrespectfully he was just sort of just shrugged off of the new project, and then to finally they announce, we're getting Jack Bauer to do the voice, blah blah blah. He's like, I'm holding out hope that Jack Bauer can do a Snake voice that's convincing.
Yeah.
But
on the same token, it's like, we could have just had back Snake.
Yeah, we already have Snake. Their reasoning for getting Jack Bauer, Kiefer Sutherland, their reasoning is that everything's going to be full motion capture, so that he's going to have the little diodes on the face to capture all of his expressions, and so they wanted to get a real actor for that rather than a voice actor. Yeah.
I still don't like it, because there's no reason they couldn't, like, they didn't even give him a shot. They're like, hey, because didn't he call them and be like, hey, just do you want me back? And they're like, no, we don't.
Yeah, that's pretty much exactly what happened. It's like, I haven't really heard from you for this new game. What's going on there? Like, nothing. I don't need you.
Yes.
Oh, great.
Thanks, I guess.
Yeah.
Like, I hope that he can do a good Snake, but yeah, again, we already had Snake, and he's gorgeous and sexy. Need a moment.
Yeah. There is a light at the end of the tunnel, though. It's a pipe dream. But a few days ago, David Hayter tweeted about he's looking forward to E3, hope he doesn't lose his voice, etc., etc. Yeah. There is the chance that he actually is still in the game, because Kiefer Sutherland is doing Big Boss.
Yeah.
And this game actually takes place somewhere in the timeline where adult Snake and Big Boss could actually be in the same place at the same time.
That's exciting.
So there is the chance that David Hayter is still there and he's Snake, and Kiefer Sutherland is Big Boss.
I'd be okay with that, but it's just, I'm gonna miss him as like the main.
Yeah, and like if that happens, then fine, I'll be cool with it, because then that's what's going on. But I don't expect it. It's just sort of like I hope.
Yeah.
Holding a flame up to my heart.
It's a crying shame. It really is. But hey, everyone's just judging him. Maybe he'll do a great job and just won't need David Hayter. Yeah.
How about that new Halo TV show?
There's a new Halo TV show?
Yep.
I have not heard of any of this. What is this witchcraft?
This was actually shown, talked about at the press conference for the Xbox One. It's just everybody didn't really notice because they just sort of mentioned it and then moved on.
Yeah.
But basically, they have Steven Spielberg producing a show for Halo, and I think it's going to be streamed on the Xbox One, and then later on it will be like everywhere.
Okay, that's cool, I guess.
Yeah. They're like, is Halo as big as something that like deserves a show?
I don't really feel it is.
Like it had that Animatrix-y type deal.
I can't remember what that was called, but yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah, like Halo's had books. It's had the Animatrix-y type stuff. It's had extended lore and shit written about it. I don't know if it really warrants a show like a Game of Thrones-ish type thing. Would it be a show about Master Chief jumping around shooting Covenant, or would it be about like the start of the war and stuff like that, and the progenitor race that built the Halo rings and stuff?
Jeez, that's hard to call.
Yeah, because this is just my personal opinion. If it's just a Master Chief show, no interest in it at all. Don't give a shit.
Yeah, send it to us.
But if it's a big backstory deal with how the war like first broke out and first encounters happened and all of that stuff, I would actually be quite interested in that.
Yeah, instead of it just being Master Chief blowing up stuff, it was just like kind of a forestory to how everything kind of like leading up to the starting of Combat Evolved.
Yeah, exactly. And to that extent, how the Spartans got wiped out and all that stuff. That could be cool, but again, could be pretty shoddy.
Yeah, it's got potential, but I mean, it's got equal amounts of potential to just be shit.
Yeah. In other news, have you heard about Deus Ex: The Fall?
I have not. Deus Ex: The Fall. What is it like? Other than it being Deus Ex, what is?
They hinted at it just a few days ago that Deus Ex: The Fall was coming, and there's going to be this news, and it's going to be the next entry into the core series. Then the next day, they showed it is an iPad game. I have a serious problem with this.
I'm sure I'm going to have the exact same problem, my friend.
Like, I actually don't care that this game is an iPad game. Like, Mass Effect had an iPad game that turned out to be pretty garbage, but what bothers me is that this is part of the core story.
Wait, so is it going to be the lead up to a game?
Basically, the Deus Ex Human Revolution was a prequel to the original Deus Ex,
Yep.
where the original was in pretty much a ruined world. The Fall is the story leading up to the original Deus Ex.
Okay, so it's canon between Revolution and Deus Ex.
Yes. That's the problem I have with it, is because it's a real major part of the story. It's not some side thing, and like the fact that they've boiled it down to just an iPad game with... I can't imagine what the controls would be.
Just on a quick note, do you think with all this happening that they're going to do a revamp of the original?
That's actually something I would like to see. I don't know if they would have the rights to, because I think Warren Spector still holds some control over that.
Okay.
But I would definitely like to see a HD sort of remake of the first game.
Kind of like a beautification.
Yeah. And on that note, how do you feel about HD remakes? Because I've heard a lot of differing opinions. Some people say just fucking stop. Old game is old. We don't need to play that again. Other people saying like the remakes are great. They keep classics alive, like Shadow of the Colossus. And
if we're using Shadow of the Colossus as an example, then I'm gonna just throw down here and say keep them fucking coming, because You brought an original of Shadow of the Colossus at Manifest last year, or was it the year before? Not important, but
It was the year before, but yeah.
Yeah, it was like you paid $100 for a PS2 game that's very old, and we got home, started playing it, and ran like arse, basically, like inconsistent frames, bugs, and is mostly unenjoyable. And then we're like, oh, it's getting a HD remake, awesome. Then we sat down and played that, and I don't know, it was just like staring into the face of something so beautiful that you had to cry.
Yeah, and like. And that's exactly it. Like, some people say, like, yeah, they're cheap cash-ins and whatnot, and like some of the HD remakes you see are just terrible. Like, HD remake for Resident Evil 4 is one such example. It's not even proper upscaled to HD. They didn't redo any of the textures. It's basically the old game stretched onto a bigger screen. You know what? I could have done that on my Wii.
Yeah, well, when you talk about games like that, if they are cashing in with like really cheaper like that, it's kind of a case of I could just play the Wii release of that game, because I brought the original, the special edition for the GameCube, loved it, and then I saw the remake for the Wii, and I didn't even like stop to think. I just like, yep, playing it with Wii controls, and it was just the same game except way better in every way because I was aiming with a Wii remote.
Yeah, and then we get to the really good kind of remakes, basically the complete rebuilds of original games, like you got with the Zelda Ocarina of Time on 3DS, how it's the old game, but everything about it, all the assets are new.
Oh, okay.
And Star Fox, it's like, it's the old game, the old code is running there, but all of the models, all of the sounds, all of the lighting, it's all new, it's all modern stuff rather than just the old models just up-rosed.
That was called Star Fox on the 3DS even here, wasn't it, instead of Lilac Wars?
Yeah.
Wait.
Little known fact to our international listeners, Star Fox 64 was actually called Lilac Wars over here, so a lot of people, when they saw Star Fox 64 3D, a lot of people didn't even know what it was.
Yeah, like you and I knew the score, because we were like, yeah, well, it's just Lilac Wars, but made beautiful. But it wasn't just made beautiful, it's like a fantastically taken care of remake.
Yeah, exactly. And the reason I brought this whole thing up is this link I'm pasting to you right now. This is one of the things Microsoft is going to show at E3 this year.
Fable Anniversary.
The old game is on the left, the new game is on the right.
I forgot that the main character looked that fucking chudly. That, like what I'm looking at right here, I agree with every bit of that.
Yeah.
Because I've got the PC version with the expansion somewhere in a box here, but if I could sit down and play that, is that going to be for Xbox One, or are they going to bring...
I believe so.
Oh, that's a shame. But yeah, I would play the shit out of that. It's like, yeah, it's a game I've already finished to death like 80 times, but to play it looking just gorgeous, totally fine with it.
And like, a lot of people crack the shits over Halo Anniversary. It's like, why don't you just make a new Halo game? Schnosh. But what they did is a remake like this. And this was the same thing Nintendo was doing with Zelda Wind Waker. They're taking the old game and putting all new assets into it and making it a modern game.
I'm looking forward to that. And I'll just say briefly, like, they wouldn't have to remake it, because one thing that people look at and they're like, oh, it's a bit lazy because it's cel-shaded. But the thing is, if we play the original GameCube game like 20 years in the future, we'll still sit down and go, man, this still looks great.
Yeah, it still ages well.
Unlike frickin' everything on the PS1.
No.
With your...
Well, anything 3D anyway.
Yeah, your polygon bits.
Yeah, some of the Castlevanias and stuff still look pretty good on the PS1, but that's neither here nor there.
Yeah. Yeah, no, dude, that's a HD remake. Because I'm guessing people who say, oh, they're shit, they've bought one of the total cash-in ones that are just like, just re-release this, people will buy it for money.
Yeah.
And then they skip over the ones that are amazing, like, TLC has gone into this. We want people to enjoy this game as we wanted it to be back then. Because, again, like, Shadow of the Colossus is the biggest example of a game that's just... oh, so great.
Yeah, and Shadow of the Colossus is actually an unusual example, because that's the quick, easy type of port. How they've just grabbed the old game and just slammed it in into a new engine and run it at 60 frames.
which I'm totally okay with.
Yeah, and like those are the quick, easy ones. But if it's such an iconic game with such a storied past and something like that, like it's so important to preserve people's ability to play these things.
Yeah, because they're gonna care like a lot about how it's presented to them.
Yeah, and like if you try and go back and play the original Shadow of the Colossus compared to the HD version, like they functionally are the same when it comes to what's in them. The models are the same, the sound's the same, and everything like that. But the new game runs at 60. It's perfectly smooth and it's full HD. The old game barely breaks 30 at all. Like when you're climbing on a Colossus, it stutters constantly, and I had it bug out on me multiple times, and yeah, it was a great game, but it was technically improficient.
Yeah, it wasn't hard to play because it was functionally bad. It was hard to play because it was irritating to be subjected to how it ran.
Yeah. And to be able to play a game like that, how people remember it rather than how it is such a special thing.
Yeah, because, I mean, I didn't really get to play it too much on PS2, but, like, playing it now, like, I think I powered through the first 5 Colossus in a single sitting because I was like, oh my god, this game is just so goosh.
Another thing I'm looking forward to seeing, totally off topic, but Dark Souls 2.
Oh yeah.
Do you think that'll be playable at E3 this year?
One can dream.
I honestly think it will be.
I mean, they've already got they had a playable demo out for it ages ago, not for the general public, but I mean, for the people over at IGN.
Yeah.
And
that's what I'm looking forward to, is like, I think they'll actually open it up at E3. It'll probably just be the same demo again, but
yeah, it's Dark Souls. It's like Demon Souls really, shocked the world with its I'm very mean and I'm going to rape you now gameplay. And
but I'm going to rape you fairly.
Yeah.
I'm going to give you the warning signs first, so you can not drink the open bottle of beer I just gave you.
But yeah.
Now we're just going into a very dark place.
Oh, date rape. But yeah, I really feel that and with Dark Souls, it was a lot more forgiving than Demon Souls was, but it was like if you sat someone down and they played that first, they wouldn't believe you when you said you should play the first one. It was way less forgiving than this.
Yeah.
But like, I'm just looking forward to more and forever.
Yep, more Dark Souls is a very good thing, and I'm hoping the next one will be. They said the next one will actually come out on PC as well as a console, so it won't get a half-assed port like it did last time, which I'm totally okay with.
Yeah, I think I might still skip it on PC just because just feels like such a console game, and like, yeah, it'd look better and probably run a lot smoother, but it's
Well, that's the other thing they were talking about. They've cleaned up the engine, so you shouldn't have as much slowdown like you used to get in Blighttown and stuff.
Yeah, the other thing I'm more concerned about is the ever-present threat of modders, which is not a problem for you or I, because we only play it on the PS3, but on Xbox it's a thing that happens quite frequently from what I've seen.
Yeah, which baffles me.
Yeah. Especially for people who are paying for that service, which...
Yeah.
I don't think it'll happen, but maybe Xbox will be like, you know what, we should make our online free because we don't do anything special to warrant people having to pay money for it.
You know what? If they came out and said that at E3 this year, that would fix it. If
that would make it?
Yeah, if they just came out on stage and said, Xbox Live for the Xbox One will be free, people would forgive them for all the other shit, I think.
Yeah. Like,
it won't happen because Microsoft likes money, but...
Yeah. I honestly can't... I don't understand why people at all use it, because whenever I ask, they're like, oh, because it's a way better service than PlayStation. I'm like,
PSN.
well, it's not. PSN, that's it. And it's... It's not. It's the same service except they charge you for
Yeah,
it.
that's exactly it. It's the same. It's the same service pretty much. And this is just a moral stance on my own part, but I refuse to pay to use the internet on an internet connection I already pay for.
Yeah.
And that's just me. I've got an Xbox. I don't use it online. I have no friends on my friends list on there because I don't care about its online connectivity because I gotta pay for it.
Yeah, and I'm the same. I refuse to shell out money for something that I'm already paying for. And then you get over to the thing of, like, there is a paid connection for PSN, and people are like, well, why'd you do that? It's like, because it's the best thing in the universe.
Yeah, because on PSN you're not paying to play online, you're paying for, like, tons of free games. Just
Yeah,
recently I got Hitman Absolution, which I'd been wanting to buy for a while, and it's like, holy shit, I got that for free?
You get it for free. I mean, yeah, the downside is when your subscription's up, you can't play those games anymore, but the thing is, when you decide to not renew your subscription, it's because you're done playing all of the games that you have for free. Like,
Yeah.
let's use your PSN, because you've got the Platinum, the yearly membership.
Yeah,
I don't
PlayStation
know
Plus.
how. There you go, for PlayStation Plus. And so it's $80 a year, correct?
Something like that. I don't really remember. I think it's like 80.
And how much would you say, at a ballpark estimate, would you say the amount of cash value of games that they just let you have in that year?
We'll say this month, for example, I got Hitman Absolution amongst a bunch of other things. That month, on its own, I think was at least $90 worth of stuff. For anyone wondering, yes, we pay a ton more for games over here.
It's like $90 per year average.
Yeah.
AAA
Like
release.
an average new game is $90. I've seen Call of Duty brand new for $110.
Ew!
Yeah, that's
It's
ridiculous.
not even worth $110. It's Call of Duty.
But yeah, no, in any given month, that 1 month's worth of games pretty much pays for the whole year's worth of PlayStation Plus subscription.
So, you pretty much get 12 times worth the money value.
Pretty much. I mean, you might get slow months, but then you might get other months where you get, like, tons of stuff. Like, there was another time when I got Bulletstorm, another time I got Crisis 2.
Oh, Jesus.
And, like, a lot of these aren't even old. Like, Hitman's only a couple months old.
Yeah, it's only been out for a little while, and we sat down and finished the shit out of that game.
Yeah.
It was a good game. But yeah, that's... So, I mean, per cash value you get from Xbox, you're allowed to play online for a month, or I don't know what a year's worth of subscription
I think
there
it's
is.
a little cheaper. I think it's like $10 or $15 cheaper than a year of PlayStation Plus. But your service includes playing online. Have fun.
Yep. Whereas, like, I mean, we could be wrong. There might be some other fringe benefits we don't know about. But then you go to PSN, it's like it's totally optional, but free games for a whole year.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, yeah, you don't get to pick, but who cares? They're free, and from what we've seen, you get a lot of big titles. I know you got, what was that game with the electric fellow?
Oh, yeah, I got, Infamous 2.
Yeah.
I think I got Infamous 1 at some point as well, too.
I know that you have Trine 2.
Yeah, I got Trine 2, I got Awesome Noughts, I got,
It's everything.
yeah,
Anything that's worth having, you get.
Supersonic Rocket-powered battle cars, I got that. Which I keep installed for one reason, the theme song.
Yeah, so you can just, everyone's like, you know what I want to hear? An awesome theme song.
When the fires burn out and the birds in the sky, your destiny will make you fly. You know, take control. Take it, make it, all systems go. Supersonic, acrobatic walkabout battle cars. Supersonic, acrobatic walkabout battle cars. Supersonic, acrobatic walkabout battle cars. Supersonic, acrobatic walkabout battle cars.
Oh dear. Yeah, and that's pretty fucking worth it.
Yeah. Alright.
Yeah, that
Might
was,
call
that was a good
Yeah,
topic.
might call it quits there. So that was Ozzie Gamecast episode 2. If you liked it, feel free to swing by the OGG channel on YouTube. You can look it up under youtube.com/Janos1313, or just search for OGG or Aussie Game Guys. You'll find us any which way. Alright, have a nice day.
Catch you next time.